as winter's coming to an end here in Australia, the last couple of days have been absolutely glorious, so I've taken the advantage of that and spent a couple of days outside in the garden. So if you want to see what I've been up to, yeah, just keep watching. Oh, it's just a beautiful winter's day here. My flower garden has just been going crazy. I do have a bag of seeds that I saved from last year's seeds that I had over here in this round bed here. I love these ones. These are a type of osteoperum, and I've saved a heap of these seeds as well from these when they die. Just put them in a bag and hopefully they'll just spread around the garden. And I just wanted to show you what's popped up in our letterbox here, in our little garden bed of our letterbox. It's just beautiful sunflower, multi-headed sunflower. It's just absolutely beautiful, these are. This is growing nice and strong. It just loves this position at the front. I do have another one that's popped up here as well, and that will be the same type. And along over here, still my sunflower tree has kept flowering all through winter. I've had to sort of trim it back a little bit. We've had a little bit of strong winds, but it has broken a few branches off in there, as you could probably see. But still pretty hardy and strong. But also the snails, they're abundant in here as well. I had a bit of a snail hunt with this particular plant the other day. And also here we'll have another sunflower. These have all just popped up from seed. So I've actually had quite a lot of plants pop up from seed, like even these shrubs here. Don't know if you can quite see them. These are called Polygala grandiflora, and it's the mother tree is right here. Another little item I bought. I got this from Aldi. I don't know how many of you guys shop at Aldi, but I absolutely love Aldi. It's a cast iron teapot, and I've just seen this one in there. It was only $20, and it's a lovely cast iron one. I've already washed it out and followed the instructions on it. It's just quite a dainty little one. I love all the sort of pattern on the outside. It's kind of like riveted kind of thing. And you just lift it up. You can have it as a little kettle or a little teapot. It's got a little tea diffuser in there. You can pop tea bags in. And you can always boil it up on the gas stove as well, or you just pour boiling water into it, so that'll keep your water or your tea nice and hot while you're sipping away and having a chat with your friend. Well, this rusty old gutter is getting replaced today. It's done not too bad. It's been 25 years since this one's been up here. We've had to do that little patch job I showed you once before in a video. It's held up pretty well actually. So it's looking a little bit worn now. It's quite a long patio. It's about 14 metres long. And it's looking a little bit, not too bad up this end, a bit mouldy up here. So the new patio has been put on. Hopefully this lasts another 25 years. Oh, the boys have done a good job. Oh, nice little worm in there. Sorry if that offends anybody, but we all know how much havoc they play in the garden. So if you can get them and dispose of them just to save your own crop, that's what we've got to do. They've really attacked some of my capsicum plants that I had in here, so now they're moving on to the strawberries and my silver beet. Yeah, it's a nice little breeding ground in here for them, so do have to put a stop to them. Yeah. They like to live just below the surface as well. Plenty of worms in there. So I've got the underground worm feast in here. I might just have a little dig around in here. See, they're attacking my silver beet now here. So it's about time I'm going to start pulling out a lot of this old veggies in here. Probably past its prime. Make way for some new seasoned veggies and that to go in here. It has sunk a little bit on this side here. In the middle where it's raised up, that's fine. And it's sort of sunk a bit more down over this side. So strawberries are not really getting a lot of sun in this spot. So through summer, I might have to dig some of these up and just sort of put them out in a bit more of a sunny spot. They don't mind being transplanted. There's a snail there. Oh my gosh, look at that. Oh gosh, pull them all out. It's like a nice little haven in here. And then just this morning I went out and bought just some more seedlings. I got 2 packs of runner beans, which I'm gonna pop into this bed this time. So I'll just try and sort of alternate where I've planted everything. And I do have a giant big red capsicum, which I will put in here as well. And I do have the long sweet capsicums. I won't plant it in this little spot here because that's where I've put one of my giant potatoes that I got. And so I'll just pull all this out now and decide where I will put them. That's just some spinach. And I'm going to try and grow one of those. This is a Roma tomato. Instead of having just the little cherry ones all the time, I'm just going to try and grow the big ones, and also a beefsteak one. So, well, I'm the only one that eats tomatoes, so I don't know, I'm going to have a little bit too many. And just some more cos lettuce. I ended up picking up just a nice piece of this trellis here as well, because I thought, oh, I just need something to stake the beans up. I mean, I've got that lattice there, but that's not really used for much at all. I could make use of it, but I thought at least this way I can put it in the middle of the garden bed, and I can just maybe grow the runner beans on that one. Oh, look at the worms in there. Oh, it's beautiful and rich. I could plant something straight into that and just see how it grows. So what I'm going to do is I am going to plant this capsicum into this little underground worm feast, and we'll see how this one grows in here. So I might just take out a scoopful. Well, I've just had a really good 2 days out in the garden. One day at the front in the flower garden, and yesterday I spent all day outside harvesting the hungry bin, and this is the last bit of stuff that I need to sift through down here. Just hopefully they'll just move down that little bit more, then I'll reset the hungry bin. This has all the worms in it, so I am just letting it sit out here for a couple of hours, which it's already been a couple of hours, and then I'll start sort of sifting through the top of it. So I'm going to kind of be in trouble again because I've just lost the second set of keys to the shed and the side gate. I've had a look around everywhere, in the pockets, in the washing machine, around on the ground, so at this stage I can't get into my shed. Whoops. So what I'll do is I'll just scrape off this very top part, so it's just kind of still needs to be broken down, but it's just bigger stuff. So I actually like to have just, instead of trying to get castings out of my worm farms and that, I'd actually prefer to have it probably 70% broken down, because I find it's just too thick and too hard to sort of get the worms out, and baiting them across to another section, I don't know, I find this takes a long time, so I'd rather just have it broken down to about 70%, and yeah, and then just reset it and go from there again. And my compost generally comes around pretty quick, because there's quite a lot of worms in here. As we'll get down the bottom, you will be able to see towards the end just the amount of worms that I've got in here. So the more worms you have, the faster everything, they'll kind of get through the material as fast. So all these worms here, I'm going to pop back into the big hungry bin there when I chuck in some more material and reset their new home up. Some little pot worms in there as well, so because just down the very bottom of the bin it was a little bit too wet down there where the castings tray sits, but I've been managing to sort of dry it out a little before it all goes back in, because the pot worms love it when it's super wet, over wet. It becomes a little anaerobic. They prefer that environment compared to the red wigglers. And if you haven't seen my video on how to control pot worms, I'll leave a link in the description down below, and also if you just look up the corner here, I'll leave a link up there as well. So I'm going to be resetting the hungry bin. I've completely emptied everything out. I don't know if you can see down the bottom this plate here. I actually had it around the other way, which I'm pretty sure that's, if I can remember, the instructions said to do it that way. So, but I flipped it over because I always found like it didn't drain very well at the bottom. Maybe I misread the instructions, eager to put it together. But what I'm going to do is, just to help with a little bit more, sort of so it doesn't clog up the bottom too much, I've just got some egg cartons, but I'm going to have that one dry because when I made some worm tea yesterday, this is really kind of wet still, so I'm just going to tip that in. It'll have a heap of worms in it as well, but yeah, I'm not going to add any liquid to that because all the excess liquid will get soaked up by that cardboard. And I'll just loosen it up a little bit as well. Hopefully it's not too dark. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. Because it was sort of stuck right down at the bottom. It is a little smelly, so I'm just going to loosen that up. And also what I have is some shredded cardboard that I make myself or shred up myself, so it's lovely, finely cross-cut, micro-cut. So I'm just going to chuck a heap of that in as well. Just give that a bit of a mix around. And that cardboard at the bottom will help soak it up as well. Just give it a good fluff up. That's a good source, even though it's cardboard for their bedding. They will eat that up as well, so they're not going to starve. And I'll just have a nice bowl of food here for them. There's quite a lot of worms in there, so I am just going to pop a heap of stuff in there. Got some kiwi fruit as well. Just loosely put these on, you don't press them right down hard, just a couple, only pop a couple in there. So what I've got is another bag, and this one's been pretty damp as well. I'll just get some more cardboard from my paper shredder, and I'll just tip that straight into the bin as well. Now it's come to the end of the day. It's getting a little chilly. I might have to go and light the fire. Well, hopefully you enjoyed spending a couple of days with me in the garden, and hopefully your weekend was as prosperous and got lots of jobs done. Okay, well, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Okay.